There are Twitter bots out there with hundreds of thousands of followers. Alongside being very famous, they're also very helpful to a certain group of people on Twitter. You might think that you require a large knowledge of programming to make one, but today I'm going to teach you how you can make a Twitter bot with basic knowledge in programming. So first we have to set up our Twitter bot on the Twitter developer portal. So the link to that will be in the description. So first you create a project, and as you can see I already have a project created. So I'm just going to add an app. I'm going to name the app and I'm going to call it F1 Countdown Bot, because I'll explain what the bot does exactly later on in this video. Now we're going to go to the next page and we will get our tokens and keys. Go to this settings called user authentication settings. We have to set up this so that the bot will be able to tweet. So we're just gonna click on this multiple choice form and just do the relevant things. Over here they're asking for the link to our website, and since we don't have one we can just put in literally anything, and after that we're just going to confirm our changes. Now once that's done we can go to our keys and tokens and get our keys. So we will be needing the access token secret, and the API key and the API key secret. So once that's done, you should create a file called creds.py and save these keys with the following variables in the file and just save it. Now I'll explain how the bot which you're working on, how does that exactly work. So I'm a huge fan of F1, and the way this bot basically works is between any two given day races and the present day, it tells how much time is left for the next race in form of a progress bar. So the way it works is we're going to calculate the time between any two races and then also calculate the time between the present and the next race, and basically it will divide the two time durations, multiply with 100 to give us a percentage on how much time have we waited for the next race, and then it's going to tweet that out in form of a percentage bar. It's pretty useless, I know, but it's also very basic, and I thought it would be great for a tutorial like this. So now I'll be going over the code. First, we'll be importing our modules like TweePy, and then from the previous file which we made creds, we're going to import the relevant keys and secrets. Then we have a custom file called time methods, and there are many methods in that. So I'll go over that later on, and then we're going to import time. So first we're going to set up our client object for TweePy using this snippet of code. It basically creates the way we're going to access the Twitter API, and we're going to set up a global variable called last percent. I'll explain what that does in a bit. So while this last percent variable isn't 100, that means while this percentage hasn't reached 100, we're going to get the next race using the method which I'll explain again when we go to the other file. And this function basically tells us how much percent have we waited. So whatever I told earlier is just going to calculate it and just spit out the percentage. Now we're going to check if this percentage is divisible by 5 or it's not equal to the last percent. If it's not, then we're going to just simply set the last percent equal to the percentage and then tweet it out using this text and a couple of hashtags, and then it's going to sleep for 1,000 seconds, and then again after 1,000 seconds I'm going to repeat this process, and like that after every 8 hours we will be getting a tweet out. So now I'll be explaining time methods. So this is basically to calculate all the time durations and all the calculations part basically. So I have a race data.json file here which has all the timings of all the races in a format like that. So what this does is it takes any particular date in the format of the date we just saw in the JSON file and returns it as a function as a date time object after like stripping it out and giving it the correct format for calculation. Time between races basically just calculates the time between any two races and returns us the duration, the time between them in seconds. And time between last race and present race will tell us the amount of time that has passed since the last race and whatever time we are accessing the function. So now it can basically based on these two functions can calculate how much percentage have we waited for the next race by simply dividing the two numbers and multiplying with 100. This other function last and next race just accesses the two race date times from the race data.json file. So the first race is going to be the one which is the previous race, and the next one is going to be the one which is the upcoming race. And generate block is simply a one-liner code to generate the percentage of how much of time we have waited, and that's pretty much it. So now I'll show you how the bot looks. So this is how the bot looks like. I have hosted it on Heroku, and this bot isn't worth hosting, to be honest. So just for you to understand how Twitter bot works and how you can make one, so you shouldn't worry about hosting such a simple bot right now. Maybe if you make something more useful, you should be more worried about hosting that. And also, I wouldn't recommend Heroku, as they're shutting down their free tier services from 28th November. So I'm still out there looking for alternatives, but yeah, here's the bot, and as you can see, it is able to tweet out how much time we have waited. So this was around 3 hours ago, and it says we have waited 85% for the next race, which is I think tomorrow on Sunday. So that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.